everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So last week we kind of left it on a little bit of a cliffhanger where the van, the 00, that's really got a Vauxhall combo badge on it, wouldn't start. And some of you in the comments highlighted the fact that, hey Paul, what you actually cleaned was not the EGR valve but just a part of the EGR system, and you were right. That's exactly what it was, because after doing some further research and the fact that something electronic was telling the car that the EGR valve, I kind of figured, actually, I don't think that was the EGR valve. So we did find it, and now we're going to replace it and then do that whole process again. But of course, on the combo, or the 00, I'm going to call it a Fiat. That's what it is, okay? Let's not beat around the bush. It's a Fiat. You have to tell the car that you fitted a new EGR, so we're going to have to go through that process as well. So let's get that out, and then we're going to jump on to the Transit, because we need to finish off doing the undercarriage, change the brake caliper over to the new one, which is better, and then see if we can get that started as well. So, will it starts. Let's crack on with it. Okay, here in this box is an EGR valve, because as some of you are very quick to highlight, what I replaced and cleaned last week was not the EGR valve. In fact, it was part of the EGR assembly. But I kind of had a hunch that that was the case, and the reason being is because I had electronic faults come up on the scanner, and for that to happen it means something is plugged in, and that would be this. This is our EGR valve that we have to replace, and here is our electronic plug. See that? So we need to replace this. It's hopefully not going to be a difficult job. It's in a really awkward place, the EGR valve, typical Fiat style, but essentially there is your valve. Is that the right way around? No, here we go. That's the way around. So your valve's in here. You see it's got this little plunger, and basically what happens is the plunger gets pushed in, and then it allows the exhaust to bypass. And there is a little motor in here, and it will wind that back and forth, and you've got a little plunger arm that goes up and down. Now what happens, and you'll see it when we take the old one off, is that this gets all gummed up. This little rod here gets gummed up with soot and grime, and it builds up to the valve just doesn't move. You can clean them, but it's a difficult one to do, and you really want to have this seal so the EGR works properly. Now a lot of people, they put new valves in and they blank it off so that this always works, but we're not going to do that. We're going to just replace this valve so that it can do the job that it was designed to do. And then of course that is our electronic plug that senses whether this is working correctly. Alright, let's go and fit it. Right, so EGR is literally down there. So you imagine this is like that. You see how this is looking? Let's see if I can get you to see it. So watch the old mirror. I know you can't see it, but literally I'm looking at it just down there. I'm going to point to it. That's easiest. It's literally where my finger is, just underneath there. So we were doing this blind, and hopefully it's gonna work. Wish me luck.
Moments later.
Okay, after a lot of fighting, we got the old one out. It was stuck in there real fast, it really was. Now looking at this, you can see, I don't know, it looks okay, but look, it's probably in a mechanism inside where it's really all gummed up. So just as well we replace it with the new one we got up here, which is nice and clean. There's a gasket that I've put in already, another one that obviously sits on the outside, this one here you've seen here, and this is not, this one that I've got here is a genuine one as well. It's a genuine Fiat one, so we'll put this one back in, and then we'll clear the codes. Okay, so here's the old plunger. I've just taken it apart, and clearly it is really stuck absolutely stuck fast. Just gonna see if we can hammer it. We can. There you go. There you go. So that's why it was failing, because it was stuck. It wasn't moving, and that's the reason why we had to replace it. Now, could I have cleaned this up? Maybe. But how long would it have been till it got stuck again? And for how much did I pay for a new one? I got a brand new genuine one. Someone was obviously selling it and trying to recoup some money. £69 is what I paid for it. So I think that's a bargain, because they go for a lot more than that. Genuine ones do anyway. You can get second hand. You can get new ones for about 90 or pound, but they are patent ones. So there you go. That's lasted 146,000 miles, which is not bad going, eh? Right, let's see if we can get this van started. In fact, first thing we need to do is clear the codes. So now we're back at the van. One thing I need to do, if you remember, this little thing here broke last week, so we managed to get it repaired. So I just want to put this back in. Good. So that's in. Now let's see if we can clear the EGR. So we've got the ignition on, and we've got ourselves focused on our scanner. So we're going to look at some hot functions now. Let me just go back. So we're going to hot functions. Ignition is on, and what we will do on hot function, we're just going to look for the EGR setting. EGR valve. Let it establish. Turn on ignition. Engine must be off. It is off. Communicating. And we are waiting. Okay, so it's basically saying that it's performed okay. Turn ignition off. Then confirm with button. So ignition is off. We'll press continue. It's good, isn't it? So we're doing this because we put a new EGR valve, and we want the van to know that it's got a new EGR valve. So we'll just wait for this to finish, and then we'll come back. Alright, turn ignition on. Ignition is on. Continue. And that is it. So now what we want to do is we're just going to escape that, go into diagnostic, auto scan. We've got one fault. We'll let it do its scan first of all. We'll clear that fault down, then we'll start the van, and then we'll see how she runs this time. That shouldn't take too long. Some of these, when you do a scan, takes forever, but for this it should be relatively quick. Alright, so let's go into that. Troubleshooting codes. Exhaust gas, that's a historical one. We're going to erase that code. Say yes. Okay. No codes detected. Escape that. Do another scan. Let's see what she finds this time. No codes. Escape. Right, let's start the van up now, and let's see how we get on. Yeah, this time she starts up straight away. Sounds much more healthier. Much more healthier. Yep, that's fixed it. Right, we'll take her for a quick test drive just to make sure everything's all right. And yeah, we should be good.
Moments later.
Right, so just back from a little run. Let's now see if we got any issues. We should expect just one, which is a little bulb that's out. One of the front headlight, not the headlights, but the side lights bulbs is out. That's the only thing that should come up now. Let's take a look. And there she is. So no engine faults, that's good. And just to confirm, it is just a bulb that's out on this. There you go. Tail lamp circuit open. Oh, it's saying tail lamp. Let's erase that code and let's see. Yeah, should come back up. We'll escape. If that's a tail lamp, we'll take a look at that. Easy fix. Escape. Yeah, we did unplug. The only reason I'm saying that, we did unplug the tail lamp some time ago, so we're just going to run that again. But basically, there are no engine codes, and that's the main thing. That's what we want to see. Yep. So we'll just run that again, see if that comes up, because we did unplug the tail lamp, and I just want to make sure that's not the case. Yep, that is the case. So we're all clear, no errors. Fantastic, this van is fixed. Right, on to the next. And we're back on the Transit. Alright, so last week we got all of this sorted, the undercarriage. Today we've got the drop link to put in. We're going to swap out the brake. And we've got the little fuse box out there. Because this one here is all smashed up. So we need to swap all this out. Because there's a lot of damage in there and stuff missing, so we'll do that and see how we get on today. But I'd also like to see if we can swap out the brake, because this one's much better than this one. I think that this is going to be all corroded, whereas this one's all nice and fresh. But we do need to obviously change this out, and that's going to make a mess, because yeah, brake fluid, you know how it is. Alright, let's crack on and we're going to start with a brake. Okay, so we've got the brake in. It's a little bit fiddly, lost a little bit of fluid but not much, so we need to give this a bleed, but it meant that we didn't have to take off the caliper. So next we're going to take this off. I've just put the strut on, so this is the new strut that we cut off the other week. Just needs a little bit of tightening. Let's do that now. Just see that, put it in. That bit done. We'll do the bottom one as well, but first we're going to take this off, then we can put this back on here. That means we don't have to unclip all the brake sensor. So we will just grab my 18. Okay, take this off. Goodbye. We'll put this one back on. Now, is it going to be easier to just plug these in? Let me just check. There's two plugs. Yeah, be fine. Okay. Let's give it a little bit of tighten. Okay, so always interested in doing this one-handed. Okay, just tap that down. Just make sure that can plug in. Actually, I'm not sure whether that's tangled up or that's... No, that's alright. I think this just needs to be... Right. Yeah, I think this needs to be... Let me do this with two hands and then we'll come back.
Moments later.
And we're back. Right. That's now better positioned. So that should just click in. Yeah. Should click in, but it's not happy. How about this one here? Yeah, that one's fine. Okay, so that's sensor sorted. This one I will just make sure that that's the same as the one that we've taken off. Pretty sure it is. It's not going to be on there, is it? It's going to be on there. Alright, so that bit is all sorted. This bit's okay. Just got to tighten at the bottom. I'll do that with a spanner. That's going to be slow. And that's all the shocks all sorted. So next we'll take a look at electrics. Okay, let's give them a little bit of a tighten up. That one there. Just stop it from shorting. Okay, let's get the seat forward. Let's see what this van is going to do. Make sure she's not in gear, because that would be a bad day. Okay. And we might have to push a clutch in anyway to start her up. Let's see. Full guard. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I wonder if, because this is crashed, whether it's got a pyro fuse. I wonder. Ford Special, eh? We'll have to check and see. Okay, so we're going to break out the old Autofix. I'll tell you what, this thing is getting some exposure. Alright, so we're going to plug in the LBD, which is just down here. Plugged in. Let's find this vehicle. Okay, Ford, where are you? Ford EU, there you go. And we got an update. But we're gonna miss that out and go straight in for the kill. So we'll do an auto scan. We'll get to find the VIN. We'll come back once it's found the VIN.
Moments later.
Okay, so we're back in the vehicle. It's found what this is. Let's do a quick scan. Okay, here we go. Diagnostic. Auto scan. Doing a scan. Let's see what she finds. Okay, almost finished. Gotta hurry up because it's gonna cut the engine, the battery. But it's found one fault. Oh, no, it's found quite a few faults. So, don't turn off the ignition. Oh, it's done it. Let's turn ignition off. Let's turn it back on again. Okay, we're back on. Okay, let's see what she's found. Escape. Escape on that one. Okay, let's what I'm trying to find out, in fact, let me take a look and then we'll come back when I find something interesting. But obviously there's plenty of codes here that we need to explore. Okay, so these are the codes that I can find. There's nothing really here telling me about battery, but I think, unless someone in the comments tells me different, I reckon that this van has a battery isolator. That's what I think. Let's see what we can see. Right, figured out why the van wasn't turning over. Power module on the end there was unplugged. So now we've got her plugged in. She turns over now. And then doesn't start. So we've got some faults here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clear these because we've got quite a few, and then we'll see what comes back, because then we'll know what we see is really pretty much live. So I spent a little bit of time looking through, and a lot of this, basically the van has lost communication with a whole lot of sensors, which is kind of telling me that something is cut. So we're going to take a look under the bonnet now and just check the wiring and see what we got over there. Okay, so lots of codes have come up on the van. I've taken the fuse box apart just to have a look to see if I can detect any broken wires, because the ECU basically saying it can't talk to a whole lot of modules, which would make you think that something is broken, that there's a broken cable, etc. I can't see anything obvious, so I need to do a bit of research to see exactly what the common problems are with these vehicles. In terms of what we have been able to do today, we have been able to, oh, there we go, just wondering what that leak is, but I found out it's just the fluid here. I'll put this pipe back in. Yeah, so we basically got most of the undercarriage underway. This is all good. We've got to take off that strut, but my tool that I use is just not man enough for it, so I need something more heavy duty, so we'll get that sorted. We've done the brakes, and no, that's not brake fluid dropping, it's normal coolant. Connected everything back up, so that's now all happy and moving freely as the way it should be, and the brakes are back on, locked. So not as much progress as I wanted to make, but progress nonetheless. So let's try and figure out what's going on with that ignition and why the van isn't starting, because ideally what we want to do is get it up on four wheels again and rolling once we get that suspension done. Okay, alright, so we got the combo done and dusted, that's fixed, so we can now move that aside. Now we need to get the transit sorted. Now I think I've got an idea what it could be, but if you think you know what it is, put it down in the comments below. Like I said, got a strong possibility, but I'm going to do some experimenting and then we will find out next week. Now next week on the transit, we're going to be taking down that front slam panel and releasing it, getting it on all four wheels. So we need to get that steering sorted once I get my tool sorted, and then that will go off to the body shop. Then we have to move on to something else while the van's on the body shop. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you are a casual viewer, don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell notification so you're notified whenever we release a new video. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a good week.